Many of us, we have been trained in this reality, just like animals or puppets. We've been learning how to act almost completely in reverse to how we would have naturally acted from our natural selves. Almost everything that we've been learning here in this reality has been in reverse. Eating, talking, walking, dressing, customs, rituals, expressing feelings, emotions, thoughts, ideas. It goes on to such deep levels. Everything that we are doing, in a way, it's in reverse. The way we speak, it's rarely portraying what we truly mean, because it's almost without fault. We just are unaccustomed, in a way, to even express 1 ounce of truth. We are so scared. It's because we've been living in a lie. We've been living in a lie 24/7 in this reality. We've been fed lies all the time, that now truth appears like the most terrifying thing. So to express truth in this reality, the very truth that stems from within us, it takes a Herculean amount of effort. You have to be a true daredevil, in a way, to just express 1 bit of truth in this reality. Everything is set up externally and internally to scare us away from ever bringing anything true to this reality. There are inner mechanics inbuilt in us that make us scared, that constantly, that voice of doubt, that voice of fear, that feeling of fear. It's not only the mental voice, it's the feeling itself, which becomes, it's like occupies the entirety sometimes of the self, and the fear becomes so enormous. So we are being hacked from within and from without simultaneously, in order to decrease almost all chances that we would ever be able to express something pure, something genuine, something true in this reality. So we've all been hacked almost completely. We are doing almost everything unnatural. Eating is unnatural, talking is unnatural, the customs that we make are unnatural, the way we express our feelings and thoughts to each other, it's most of the times unnatural. We barely know how to truly interact with another human being from a true stance of purity, genuineness, openness, vulnerability, completely showing what we are in all our vulnerability and mistakes and imperfect nature. The walls we have been hiding behind have grown so thick that soon they started feeling like home. We took the walls of the prison to be the walls of our home. And this is why We have to reinvent everything from scratch. Everything has to be rebuilded from scratch. The kingdom of itself, we have to build it again from scratch. And it's only us together, that we can rebuild this kingdom brick by brick from scratch. Because all of us, we hold the key to a certain skill, a certain tool, a certain way of thinking, of being, of seeing things, of doing things, that nobody else has it in that way. So we all hold us, in a way, a certain brick of this heaven. So we have to come together with our bricks and create again this foundation for the new kingdom, which is nothing more than the original kingdom. It's nothing new in a way, it's something ancient. So we have to relearn life. We have to learn now life from scratch. We have to tap into the spirit within us and take the knowledge from within, because it's only there where the knowledge has never been truly tainted. It's always there that the pure knowledge of life itself has remained pure. It's only by tapping within our inner selves that we can find that library of life, that true fountain of life, which contains all the knowledge we ever need to rebuild this kingdom. So, are we going to come together? That's the question. Are we going to create this true act of the highest type of courage? Ever to be summoned. Because it's one thing for us individually to sum up the courage to walk this true path towards true life. But then I can tell you, it takes a completely new level of courage to step into this true path together, to join our hands and to hold our hands together for each other, for one another, and have this mutual courage done together to walk together on this path. It takes a completely new level of courage. And we can only do it together. It can only be summoned up, this type of courage, by our individual wills and by our individual courages. Put together in a nexus, in a vortex, which becomes in a way the new heart of this kingdom, the new beating heart of this new, or this true version of Earth. This is far from being, by the way, the new Earth of the New Ages movement. This is the true Earth, the original version of Earth. It's nothing new, it's actually something ancient in a way. So, it's only our hearts together, our minds together, our beings together, that they can come together in this enormous act of effort and courage that it takes. That we can restart in a way the heart of this kingdom. And we can thus rebuild this kingdom from scratch. And this time, us together, following the guidance from within, we might be able to finally put this kingdom brick by brick again together in its original form. So the question that really ponders upon all of us is, are we able to create this type of courage? Because I can tell you this is the the highest amount of courage, the most courageous act we will ever make in our, perhaps in our entire existence. To come together is gonna be the act of the acts, the courage of all courages, the effort of all efforts. It's every force in existence almost is gonna try to stand against this, against us uniting back again, against us putting our essences together back again, our beings together back again, our hearts together back again. We are going to be presented with almost all flavors of doubts. All the monsters will appear on the road. But I know this to be a fact, that if we continue to hold our hands together, independent of all phantasms and monsters that are going to appear on this road, our hands together will create this ring in a way, this ring of fire in a way, the fire of spirit, of course, that is going to pull us further, always further on this true path towards realizing and rebuilding again this natural, true kingdom, this original kingdom. Once we create the circle has to be maintained at all costs in a way, and with all our entire being. And if we manage to maintain this circle, I feel it's all the powers of the entire existence. The powers, the highest powers in existence are going to be there with us. And everything is going to be surmounted. And we are going to, together, we are going to be met by the most unimaginable revelation possible. It's one thing to have an individual enlightenment, let's say, an individual revelation of the truth. But I can tell you that if we come together with our hearts in unison, the revelation that is going to come upon us when we are together, it's gonna be unmatchable to anything that we can obtain individually, unmatchable. So the question here is, are we going to step into this holy, sacred circle of fire? Are we going to step together into this holy, sacred ring of fire? This is the question. This is the question that I believe is hovering right now over this entire reality. And all of us, we are called to make our choice from now. And later, the opportunity, I believe, is going to start to manifest. And this holy ring of fire is going to call us together more and more. It's unstoppable once it starts. But we have to make our choices. We have to make our choice. This is the time when we choose. And this is why this video and this message is created here. To make it real, to give it a voice, to put it outwards, visible in reality, this opportunity, this call that is already starting to penetrate the reality and it's touching us already. But some of us, we might not directly perceive it. So this is a direct expression of it, a direct call to make it known. The call of the holy ring of fire, which is calling the beings together at this moment. So each of us, we are called to make this choice. Are we stepping into this holy, let's say, work holy path together. And I'm telling you, it's gonna require everything from us. So there are going to be zero ways of turning back. Once we are in, we are in. It's like once we are in for life. So this is the choice of an eternity in a way. There are going to be zero ways of turning back after we step into the ring of fire, the holy ring of fire. It's like the old world, it's like it's gone. It's like even if we want to go back to the old world, then after that, it's like we are gonna be spitted upon. It's like nothing from the old world is gonna accept us back. So it's like we are either totally in for this journey, or it's like I don't know what's the other option. I actually have to think about it. But I know that for the beings which are going to step into this holy ring of fire and start this true journey together, it's gonna be a total yes. It's gonna be needed like a total devotion. There is nothing left anymore. There's nothing left. It's gonna be total devotion to this true path, to listening to one's heart and to the spirit within. And exactly as I said, it's one thing to do this process individually and listen to our spirit individually and thy will be done, let's say individually, but it's another thing to do it together. It's a completely a different, let's say a game changer. It's a completely different game to thy will be done together. It's a completely different thing. So once we start that ring, holy ring, let's say of fire, it's like it's like we will never be able to go back. This is why I said in another recording that there is no looking back when walking out of hell. It's like once you start to walk out of hell, you walk. It's like you just do the right thing and you walk. There is no looking back. Remember that myth. I don't know, the Greek hero that went into the underworld to save its lover or its mother. And the request was, okay, you can have her, start walking out, but never look back. Never look back, because if you look back, you'll lose her. And of course, as in the Greek myths, something goes on wrong, and he looks back and he loses her. So this is what is required of us, because this her, it's our very soul, it's the destiny, it's our heart, it's gonna be everything at stake in that moment. So you have to be prepared to fully walk in spirit if we decide to hop into this holy ring of fire.